I'll say good day to each and every one of you this day of your time. How are you? All right, we are here to discuss the notion of shattering old patterns, breaking old habits, removing yourselves from the ruts of repetitive behavior that you may have created in your lives, that you may feel is holding you back from doing many of the things that you wish to do, or you may feel is holding you back from the pace at which you wish to proceed. So shattering old patterns will be the idea we will discuss this day of your time. In the first half of this workshop, this exercise, in the second half, we will also discuss exercises and meditations that can be instrumental in putting you directly in touch with your higher self, more direct communication between you and what you consider your higher self to be, your higher perspective or point of view. Also, the meditation that we will be sharing with you this day, toward the end of the second half, will be specifically designed not so much to put you in touch with the higher self, but to allow you an opportunity to begin to actually see your reality from the point of view of the higher self. Now, this particular meditation will be very different than most of the meditations that we will conduct or have conducted in the past. And you may find that this final meditation may be a little bit disorienting, may make you feel actually a little bit dizzy, but that is all right. By the time we arrive at the point in this interaction where we will share that meditation with you, many other changes will have taken place within you. You will have been able to start to set up situations and abilities within yourself to break the old patterns, and this will allow you to become more easily able to utilize a more conscious connection to the higher self and function from that point of view in your daily lives. So let us begin with the notion of patterns and habits and rituals that you may feel no longer serve you in your life. So I will ask you right now, everyone, stand up right now. Quick, 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 stand up, stand up, stand up. Are you all standing? All right, sit down. Now, this is just to illustrate a point and to lend a little bit of flavor to the theme of today, to give you a little bit of a preview of the degree of activity that you may be called upon to utilize, and also to underline and underscore the whole notion of breaking patterns, the unexpected, being prepared to take a leap at a moment's notice, to change your preconceived notions about how these things usually go, or how they ought to go, or what it is you expected to happen here today. All right, let us begin. Let us talk for a moment briefly about the things that have been said about patterns and habits and what they are. Individuals in your society have created the notion of ritual and repetition and habit and pattern for quite some time. Now, we are not saying that all patterns are negative, by no means. You have created certain automatic patterns to occur in your reality, so that you can free yourself from having to watch every single detail, every single moment of every single day of what it is you think you have to do, so that you can free yourself up by having certain things run on automatic, as it were, so that you can focus on other things. Some patterns, some repetition may be necessary in your physical reality for you to even be able to experience the notion of physical reality itself. The habits, obviously, and the patterns that we are discussing that you wish to change are the ones that you feel are no longer representative of the person that you choose to be, that you desire to be, of the reality that you desire to have and create. These habits, these patterns, are usually the result of a few things that occur in your lives, particularly as you are growing up, as you are crystallizing, so to speak, as the true persona you chose to be. Now, I wish to tell you that you have a saying upon your planet, And this saying comes to some degree from an inner intuition, an inner insight into the reality of the cycles that do exist in your society. This saying is, life begins at 40. We have discussed to some degree this notion before, the idea that your society functions primarily on 40-year cycles, that great shifts, both individually and collectively, usually occur at 40-year cycles in your society. In a very real way, you can begin to understand this individually on another level. Because of the kind of habits and patterns that you have created in the past, because of the kinds of rituals that you usually adhere to or are taught to believe in as you are growing up, it usually takes you, as a species, in general, on average, about 40 years of life in order to actually mature into an adult. Everything before the age of approximately 33, you are a child. Everything between 33 and 40, on average, there will always be exceptions, but on average, will be for the purpose of breaking out of your cocoon, of allowing yourself to rethink and reevaluate and redefine the beliefs that you were brought up with as a child, and to establish for yourself an assimilation and a synthesis of all the ideas you have absorbed, and to concoct and create a belief structure, a belief system that will be germane to the persona, the true persona that you really chose to be in this life. For the personality that you choose to be before the physical life, the one that you allow yourself to use in your society to really make a difference, to really have an effect, to really exemplify and express yourself as the being itself that you are, in your society in the past and to this present day, usually does not begin to manifest until around your age 40. And you use your years of 33 to 40 to crystallize and solidify the idea of the persona that you chose to be in this life. And at the same time, you use that same 7-year time span to transform the things you no longer are, the belief systems you no longer prefer. Now, if you haven't done it by 40, that's all right. There's nothing wrong with you. Again, understand, this is simply an average slice of your society that is generally representative of the cycle you have created, that is an automatic cycle to help you move ahead, even though there may be times when you do have no notion of how to do so. So you create a swell, a wave, a movement of energy that plays itself out in this general cyclical fashion to help you move ahead, to help you ride with the wave in general, so that you will not just be left standing still. But those of you who understand this principle sooner can accelerate sooner. Those of you who are only understanding this principle now, no matter what your age, can accelerate as quickly as you wish to. There is no hard and fast rule about the idea of the cycle, especially not now, because this is the transformational life, the transformational age upon your planet. This is the life when all the things you have learned in past lives come together, when you can bring them all into a synthesis that allows you to pick and choose consciously, not unconsciously, consciously, who it is you prefer to be, and what kind of a reality, individually and collectively, you really can create. This is the life where you wake up, really wake up, understanding that you really have for quite some time been walking in your sleep, as a species, as a society. Now you are beginning to wake up. And so, let us talk about the idea of how some of these habits and patterns became ingrained, became locked, seemingly, into your persona structure, into your database, into your programming, taking into account while we discuss this, that even the notion in and of itself of programming is one of the definitions that sometimes perpetuates habit and patterns. But we will get into that later, as you say. Let us begin with the notion of growing up as a very young child. Very young child. You, as a spirit, choose your general life, your parents, your general associations, general situations that you experience in this physical life before you are born. You make certain choices so that you will be able to experience certain kinds of things so that you can balance the experiences you have had before, so that you can add to the total knowledge of the spirit that you are, so that you can fulfill the notions of self-expression that you desire to fulfill in this physical reality you have created yourself to be. Remember that I did not say that you are in physical reality. I said the physical reality you have created yourself to be. Big difference. Because you do not exist in physical reality. You are physical reality. It is you. It is an extension of the consciousness that you are. This is one of the things you will begin to understand as you break apart the old patterns and create new directions for yourself. But again, as you are growing up, as you become physicalized, as you solidify yourself, as you lower the frequency of your consciousness and become crystallized or frozen, if you will, into physical reality, you begin a process of slow crystallization as well as the rapid crystallization of your physical form. The slow crystallization takes place over many years, approximately the first 3 to 7 years of physical life. And within this slow crystallization, you begin to absorb and adopt the beliefs, attitudes, and viewpoints of the physical reality and the society that you have chosen to be born into. You begin to adopt the attitudes of your parents, of your friends, of your peers, of your governments, of your power, authority systems, all the things that you know as a very young child intuitively that you must begin to absorb, at least on some level. Otherwise, you will not be able to survive as a physical being. You have to begin to buy into the reality system that you have chosen to be born into, or you will not be a part of it. It will not be able to sustain you. The beings within it will not be able to understand you, or nurture you, or communicate with you, nor you with them. So for the sake of being able to communicate and be sustained by the reality you chose to be born into, you begin to accept the belief systems of that reality for the purpose of forming that link, that bridge, that connection. Now, this in and of itself is not a negative thing. However, because of the way your society has been steeped for many thousands of years in certain limiting and negative belief systems, many of those ideas are still residual within many of you, and unbeknownst very often to you, many of those belief systems are transmitted to the children in your society unconsciously, telepathically. The fears, the doubts, the hesitations, the self-failures, the notions of lack of deservability, lack of competence, all of these notions are encoded within your energy field, within the consciousness that you are, and very often will be imparted to the child on a telepathic level. And because they are so open, so willing to be crystallized into the reality into which they have born, they will soak it all in for the most part. Generally speaking, only a child, only a spirit that has been able to stabilize itself to a certain degree will have any degree of ability at all to refuse to absorb certain negative limitations or belief systems that your society imparts upon that child while it is growing up. Now, this is happening more and more, as more and more beings that are reincarnating on your planet at this time are passing through what we generally call the Arcturus Gate. And this Arcturus Gate is an energy field, a consciousness realm, through which your consciousness can pass and be assisted in its alignment so that when it chooses to be born again into your physical reality, it comes in more strong, more centered, more focused, more already crystallized, and finds that the old belief systems now can bounce off and not be soaked up by that young child. But still, for now, many children absorb these ideas because they are so open, so loving, so willing to believe that the reality they have been born into supplies them with all the love, the unconditional love with which they were supplied in non-physical reality. Although again, more and more children are remembering who they were and thus are not as affected by the idea of the negative beliefs that might go along with the positive ones. But this brings us up to understand that as you are growing up, any time at all, anything that is contradictory to the unconditional love you know you are made of is presented to you, anytime you are forced by situation to limit yourself, to cut yourself off from that unlimited being that you are, anytime you are in any way, shape, or form coerced into not being allowed to express the totality of your being, anytime that this occurs, you then choose to diminish your awareness of yourself just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. Fit into this mold, that mold, do it this way. This is the way it's done. You must fit, you must fit, you must fit. You don't want to be thought of as strange or unusual. You don't want to be looked at as crazy and locked up. You must fit, you must belong. You must be one of us. All right. I'll diminish myself a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, because I want you to love me. I am missing the love. Where is the love? Is this the way to get it? To accept what you are saying? To buy into your belief? If I believe as you do, if I limit myself, will you love me? All right, I'll limit myself. But then, after you are so good at doing that, thinking that you are doing it because that's the way you're going to get the love that somehow isn't there, that somehow isn't unconditional, all of a sudden you begin to realize you've been doing it long enough that now you don't know any other way to attract love other than to continue to limit yourself. And so, this is the process that you are now going through to break that chain of limitation, of self-limitation, so that you can understand that you deserve unconditional love anyway, no matter what, just because you exist. There are no specific parameters that must exist to define you to say that you must be this way in order to deserve the unconditional love that comes from all that is. That is your natural state of being. But between the years of 3 to 7, you have learned the lesson of limitation so well that you now almost do not know any other way to be. And sometimes it takes a real shock to the system to break you out of that cycle, to break you out of that self-limitation and complacency, the complacency of accepting yourself as a limited being. Well, yes, this is who I am. This is the way it is. You can't do this and you can't do that. Everyone knows that. That's the way it is. I'll do the best I can. I'll try as hard as I can. I'll try and try. I'll do my best. But, well, you know, it may not happen, and that's the way it is, and that's okay. I'll accept that because I'm a limited being. Because I have learned to accept my limitations so that I will be loved for my limitation. You all have seen it many times. You all have seen it. Why is it that the individual who excels very often is hated and feared by those around them? Why? Why was your expression of the Christ consciousness crucified on the cross? Why? Because of the fear that this was a being expressing the innate unlimitedness within each and every one of you. And the fear that if you expressed that unlimitedness, you would not be loved. You would lose the love you have, the love of your friends, the love of your parents, the love of your peers. So right there you see that the cycle, the pattern, the repetition is do not excel. To excel means you lose the love, or what you think is the love that has been given to you in your life. Don't be such a smart aleck. Don't be such a smarty pants. Mind your P's and Q's. Know your place. All these things, all these notions drummed into you over and 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 over again, just so you will learn that if you want to be loved or receive any semblance of it at all, stay with the status quo. Stay. Be a good boy, be a good girl, stay. Good boy, good girl. Here's your reward, stay. Good boy, good girl. Now I love you. Now I love you. Oh. Don't exceed that parameter. Bad boy, bad girl. No reward. Stay. Stay, 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 stay. Good boy, good girl. Here's your reward. All right. Today we teach you how to fetch the dog bones by yourself. Anytime you wish, just because you are already and always have been and always will be innately a good boy and a good girl. Just because. Just because. Now, one of the ways that you help to lock these patterns into yourself is through the usage of emotionality. We have talked many times about emotion being energy motion, emotion, the activation principle. Well, it is also an energy that causes you to remain fixed in place as well, in a static state. We spoke last time about the idea of ecstatic states, the idea of not being frozen, of being in motion, and therefore being in ecstasy. But energy, emotional energy, can be utilized to freeze you as well into a static state. But then your energy, your emotional energy, is not going outward, it's being focused inwardly, bouncing off the inner mirrors of your inner walls, vibrating, 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 causing more and more and more, what? Tension, build up, years and years and years of tension and build up. These, in a sense, reinforce the idea of the patterns, but very often the paradox is that this tension and build-up ultimately allows you to finally break from the pattern as well. However, if you have not been taught how to use this tension to break creatively from the pattern, then usually what you do is create a nervous breakdown in order to break out of the patterns and repetitions. So the idea is that you can use that inner tension, the inner tension that does hold you back, the emotional tension and pressure that holds you back, you can use it in creative ways to release yourself, to free yourself, to unleash yourself and your full potential, your unlimited potential, in a creative way, constructive way, not a destructive way. When you have an occurrence where you are dealing perhaps with your parents or someone who allows you to feel bad, angry, upset, doubtful, fearful, diminished in any way. And yet you also are taught that you cannot express that anger, cannot express that fear, cannot express that doubt. Then you lock that emotion within yourself. Lock it in tight. Freeze yourself at that place, at that time, in that state. And once you do that, that sets up the cycle of repetition that always keeps bringing you back to that time, to that place, to that feeling, until you learn that the reason you keep coming back is to let it go. To let it go. But you see, here's the insidiousness of the pattern-creating mechanism. Not only are you forced into the idea of feeling the diminishment, of feeling the anger, of feeling the doubt and the limitation, the pattern is created because you are told that you cannot express that anger. This is a double bind. It is a self-contained kit that locks you into a loop. It forces you to feel something and tells you at the same time that you are not allowed to feel it. That's what creates the pattern, that double mechanism. Not just the idea of feeling limitation, not just the idea of being angry, not just the idea of the act of diminishment itself, but the idea of not being able to explore it, not being able to express it. It is that double action that creates the pattern, because then you're bouncing back and forth between those two walls. Feel it, don't feel it. Feel it, don't feel it. Feel it, don't feel it. That's the basis of all patterns. Feel it, don't feel it. Feel it, don't feel it. You are locked in a self-conflictive circuit, a short circuit. You cannot move through the pathway of your electronic circuitry outward into full expression. You are locked in a loop. Made to feel and told you can't. Made to feel and told you can't. Over and over again. That is the basis for all patterns in your life that you do not prefer, that do not serve you. So, the first technique, the first understanding of how to break from that loop is as follows. To go back through your life, to feel those times, to recapture those times, to express those times, and to allow yourself to live through those times now in the way you wish you could have done then, but didn't, but weren't allowed to. To play the whole scenario through that you could not play through then. It is a very powerful way to begin to break down all of those ancient, ingrained, unconscious, emotionally locked habits. This will affect your own relationship with yourself, your relationship with others, your work, your health, the things that you say excite you, your ability to accomplish anything at all can be diminished by being locked in this emotional loop. Before we begin the meditation to help loosen these parameters up, to shake that foundation open a little bit, to knock those walls down, let me just remind of the following thing, very important. Remember that a habit really, by its strictest definition, is something that you do that you don't consciously know you're doing. Once you know you have a habit, the moment you recognize you have it, you don't actually have it anymore. You have to be beyond it to know you have it. The only reason that an apparent habit perpetuates beyond the time when you're aware that it exists is because you are taught to believe that it is something that must repeat. And so you continue to create it each and every new moment of time that you exist. A habit is not something that actually comes from the past. A habit is something you create in the present, every moment, in the now, over and over again, while making an association from that present creation to some idea in the past. The habit doesn't come from the past. Its power to hold you in a pattern does not come from the past. You are creating a habit in the present, every single moment. So understand, first of all, there is nothing from the past that holds you to any pattern, except your assumption that it does. The past has no power over you at all. None. Zero. The associations you make are what create the corridors you choose to walk down. You can change direction anytime you wish. And now, let us begin the first meditation to deal with the idea of the emotionality. And we will go from there into something very different. But first, stand up, quick. Oh, come. Turn around, face the opposite direction. Turn around and face the opposite direction again. Sit down. Stand up! All right, sit down. Want to make sure that your guard is not up? Want to make sure you don't know what to expect? This is a part of the whole idea of breaking the patterns. Allowing yourself to understand you have far more flexibility, and allowing yourself to train your body consciousness that it is all right to move in unexpected directions, that it is all right, that you will not be slapped down, that you are safe in every move you make. Safe in every move you make. Safe and loved unconditionally in every move you make. All right. Take 3 deep breaths. No, take 2. No, take 1. Now take another one. And another one after that. Close your eyes. And allow yourself to drift. Drift deeply within your heart. Imagine, picture, feel, see. See your heart. Picture it beating. Feel its slow, mesmerizing beat. Feel the beat relaxing you. Hear the beating of your heart, deep and resonant within you. Deep and warm, deep and calm, deep and loving, deep, 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 deep. Feel the vibration coming from your heart, immersing you, bathing you, washing through you. Feel the loving emotionality that issues from this place in your consciousness. And as you are now immersed in the center of your heart, go back in time, back through your early childhood, back. Just imagine. Whether it is the way it was or not does not matter. Just imagine yourself younger and younger. Feel the sensations of being a young child. the wonder of seeing things for the first time, the openness, the willingness to explore. And now, feel with all your heart, feel the first fear, the first doubt, the first uncertainty, the first diminishment, the first saying that might have come from your parents, the first bit of anger, the first lack of trust, and feel the wrongness of it, the incorrectness of it, the out-of-placeness of it. Before there was unconditional love, unlimitedness, and now a diminishment, a focus, an uncertainty, an uncomfortableness, a doubt, a fear, an anger. This is not right. This is not who I am. Why are they doing this? Where is this coming from? Why don't they love me? What am I feeling? Resentment. This is not who I am. I am being forced to be someone I'm not. This is not being said out of love. This is being said by them out of anger, out of fear, out of their own lack of feeling of unconditional love for themselves. They are projecting onto me. This is not me. Can't you hear that, mother? Can't you hear that, father? Can't you hear what you're saying? Can't you see how this is hurting? No, you can't. You can't. You are blind. This is scaring me. Why can't they see what they are doing to me? And when I begin to cry, when I begin to have anger, they tell me, hold in the tears. Don't get angry at me. Don't take that tone of voice with me. Suppression, diminishment, doubt, conflict, rage. Why are these things here? Why? Don't they love me? Should I not love myself? Am I not worthy of the love? I am diminished. I am less. I don't like myself now. I don't love myself now. I didn't express the true self. I didn't express the anger I wanted to express. I didn't shed the tears I really felt like I wanted to shed. And now because I didn't express the anger, and now because I didn't cry the way I felt I wanted to, now I am angry at myself. Now I diminish myself. And this happens over and over again through my life. As I grow, a little bit here, a little bit there, feeling the anger building and building, but always suppressing it. That's not the way to behave. That's not proper. It's not right. It's not thoughtful of others. It is selfish to think this way, to feel these things. Selfish. I am not a good person for feeling these things. I am not worthy anymore because I feel this way, because I get angry. And now my anger builds into a temper. And now, bit by bit and day by day, I learn my lesson well and become more and more every day like my mother, like my father that taught me to be this way. It is not that I do not love them. It is now that I do not love myself. But this is not how I want to feel. I want to go back to that very first time. The very first time as a child when I felt the anger, felt the doubt, felt the fear for the very first time and was told to suppress it. And now, feel it. Feel that anger. Feel that fear. It is all right now. You are safe. It is allowable. Feel it. It is natural. When you are diminished, it is natural to feel the anger, the aligning energy that aligns you with your true self and lets you know this is who I really am. And this thing that is being said That is not me. Not me. Not me. And now, you can say from your heart of hearts now what you could not say before. Now, mother, father, whoever, I know I can say it and still love you. When I was a child, I did not understand that I could still love you and be angry. Now I understand I can be angry, because anger only aligns me with my true self. And anger in no way, shape, or form means I cannot love unconditionally at the same time. Just now, I will love not only you unconditionally, but by allowing myself to feel the anger I could not allow myself to feel then, I will also love myself unconditionally. And as you feel yourself now accepting that anger, feeling that anger, you also now feel the anger diminishing or transforming into love, into self-acceptance, into self-expression, into the true being you were born to be. Stage by stage, incident by incident, when you feel you have or want to create the time, allow yourself to do this meditation, to go into your heart, to feel those moments in your life that caused anger, diminishment, suppression, did not allow you to be your true self. And not out of spite, not out of attack, not out of negativity, but out of unconditional love for you and the person who might have caused you to feel this anger. Now feel that emotion. Do not suppress it any longer. Feel it. Feel as angry now as you felt then but could not express. Feel it. Feel any emotion that came up and release it by feeling it. And move to the next incident, and the next incident, and the next incident. Any and all that you can find, any and all you can chase down and find, and feel. And release. 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 And feel your heart expand. Feel yourself become bigger, warmer, more loving, more loved, more free. You may find that when you allow this freedom to unlock, you will begin to do other kinds of releasing. You may find that toxins in your body will release. Things will begin to expel themselves that no longer are necessary for the vibration that you chose to be, are no longer pertinent to the vibration of the reality you are. You will become clearer, clearer, more transparent to yourself and to others, more open, more light, more loving, more giving, and in return able to receive more light, more love, more gifts. Release. Release from the heart by feeling the emotions you were told you were not supposed to feel. You are not a bad person for feeling these things. You are still unconditionally loved and deserving of more unconditional love. Every day, every hour, every second, every moment. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Let it go. Take a deeper breath in and let that go. Take the deepest breath you have ever taken, ever. And let that go. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Stand up slowly and stretch your arms up high. 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 And as you stretch your arms up, take deeper, slower, deeper, fuller breath. Let it out and let your arms fall. Shake your arms. Move your neck all around. And now take your hands, open them wide, and place them over your heart. Feel your heart. Feel your emotionality. Feel yourself. Feel your beingness. Feel your aliveness. Feel your joy. Feel your child-like qualities. Feel your uniqueness. And jump for joy. Jump! All right. All right. Now. Are you still standing? All right. Then every single person now move to a different chair. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, 1/16, 1/32, 1/64. Sit down. How's the view from there? Different, and perfect, and different. All right. Now, use that technique, use that meditation. It will help you feel more love, more of yourself. Remember, feeling more love is just feeling more of yourself, of all that is. Now let's talk about and exercise another technique for breaking patterns, for shattering expectations and old ideas. Each and every one of you already knows that you, the total you, is a number of complex personalities, that you can be any personality you want at any given moment, and that, as we have discussed before, when you change the personality, by changing the belief, by changing the emotion, by changing the thought patterns, that you are literally becoming a different person. Well, we can use this to break yourself out of old cycles. And it will help you to take this statement even more literally than you may have in the past, to begin to truly play out these different personas that you can create yourself to be. So, for example, if you find that you are doing something that you feel is a repetition, allow yourself to call upon one of the unlimited aspects, one of the unlimited personalities that you are. Become, act like that new persona, and approach the situation as that new person would. You may immediately find that the new persona isn't even able to relate to the so-called problem or habit or pattern that the other persona used to experience. And we are talking about a very big shift, and it is a real shift. And you can examine and explore whether or not you wish to continue from that point forward to incorporate aspects of the new persona instead of the persona that had the habit. Oh, well, Bashar, isn't that cheating? Isn't that just ignoring the problem? Isn't that avoiding the issue? Doesn't have to be. Depends on how you go about it. Depends on what you put into it. Depends on how you understand it. How you utilize it. Yes, if you are saying that changing personalities is a way to simply avoid looking at something about yourself that really needs looking at, if you are not facing your fear by pretending it's no longer there, when in fact it is something that would be most constructive for you to face, then by all means you are not doing what we are now alluding to. However, what we are saying is that you can use and understand these other personalities as real people. Real people. Every bit as real as the personality you are exhibiting now. Because the personality you are exhibiting now is only your construction, is only your projection, and it only serves to express the notion that your consciousness chooses to be at any given moment. If you can create a true paradigm shift and really allow yourself to be another persona and know that you are not just running away from something that you need to look at about yourself, then you can literally unlock yourself from a pattern that another persona exhibited. Because you are no longer that person, literally. No matter how you think you look in the mirror, doesn't matter. You are no longer the person you used to be. So, let us practice this technique now. I would like a volunteer. One volunteer. All right. All right, sit down, and now stand up, and now, or what? All three, but come forward. All right. Now, allow yourself to name any situation at all in your life that represents a pattern to you that you would like to change. Name it out loud.
I would like to change the pattern of worrying about finances.
I would like to change the pattern of worrying about finances. All right. Now, the persona that said that is one persona. Stay as that persona for a moment. Stay as that persona. Stay where you are. Stay as that persona. Are you still that persona?
I'm staying.
All right. Do you still feel that persona's habitual worry about finances? Yes? You should if you are still that persona.
No, this persona has changed.
You have already changed? All right. What have you changed into?
Changing into a trusting persona that the environment provides.
All right. You are making a change in that direction. However, we are going to now begin to institute in you and to show others that the kind of changes we're talking about are far more drastic than what you are exhibiting now. All right? All right. Now, let's use your imagination at this moment. Conjure up a personality, a persona that is, in your imagination, abundant, fully abundant, has absolutely no concept of lack of abundance, does not think about the time when they were not abundant, because no such time has ever existed in their life. This is not a before and after personality. This persona in your imagination is a personality that is abundant, always has been abundant, and has absolutely no notion of being anything but abundant. Has no way to relate to the concept of lack of abundance. Have you conjured that personality up in your imagination?
Yes.
All right? Now, can you describe the difference, the primary differences in feeling between the old personality that was still focused on lack of abundance and this new personality that knows nothing but abundance? Can you, for us, give a description of the difference in the feeling between those two personalities?
The feeling of the old person being concerned about finances, lack of abundance, there's a feeling of restriction, fear, worry, anxiety, ill health.
Feeling and restriction and worry and anxiety and ill health, all these feelings, all right,
And unbalance.
and unbalance. And the abundant persona, how does that persona feel?
Radiant,
Radiant,
glowing,
glowing.
exuberantly happy,
All right, you had to check there, you weren't sure. All right, exuberantly happy,
self-fulfilled,
self-fulfilled,
creative,
creative,
and absolutely wonderful.
absolutely wonderful. All right, now, let's focus on that second set of feelings. Imagine feeling radiant. Feel radiant for a moment. Just focus on the idea of feeling radiant. Can you feel that?
Yes.
Feel it, feel it, feel it. Feel it as strongly as you can. All of you. Feel radiant as strongly as you can. Just feel radiance. Just for a moment. Just feel that. Just radiance. Breathe in accord. Pay close attention to all the changes that occur in your physical body as you are feeling radiance. Pay attention to your posture, how it changes, how your breathing changes, how your temperature changes, how your outlook and attitude changes. Pay attention to all these differences. Feel them. Revel in them. Try them on. Stretch into them. Open up to more. Feel yourself becoming more expansive, willing to experience more. As you radiate more, you will be willing to open up to experience more. Feel yourself expanding. Are you beginning to feel like you're expanding to the point where you almost can't contain the feeling? All right. The laugh is the correct response. Yes. All right. Very good. Now take a deep breath. Let it out. Relax. All right. Now, what else? What other feeling did you say you had when you were the abundant personality?
Self-fulfilled.
Self-fulfill. All right? Feel that. Focus on self-fulfillment. Contentment. Self-fulfillment. Always knowing. Always knowing. Not thinking about it. Knowing. Without a doubt. Without a sliver of a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, that you are always doing the thing that is best for you, the thing that excites you the most, the thing that is truest for you, that you are fulfilled, knowing that you will always feel fulfilled every single moment, that there is no other way you can feel. Feel that. Feel that now. Feel nothing but that. Revel in that. Revel in it. Feel self-fulfilled, confident, assured, strong, powerful, expressive, enlightened, open, sharing, trusting, loving, unconditionally, creative, active, healthy, buoyant, girlant, All those things. Yes, light enough to laugh, self-fulfill, grounded, anchored, and yet light, exuberant, knowing. Notice that it is not the same thing as egotistical. Because some of you allowed the idea of a comparison of ego to come into it, just so you could check, just to make sure that you are not being selfish, not being egotistical. It is not the same thing. Confidence, knowingness, self-assuredness. You are fulfilled. You reach out and whatever you need is there. Always, without fail. There is no such concept as something not being there when you need it. You are completely fulfilled. Are you feeling these things still?
Yes.
All right. Now, I want you to do something for a moment. I want you now, for a moment, to go back to the personality that has the doubts, that feels the lack of abundance, that has the worries, that has the fears, that feels the patterns, the entrapment and the diminishment. Do you feel that?
It's difficult, but I can imagine.
All right. All right. Can you feel how different that is between the way you want to feel?
Yes, it's not me.
All right. Let that feeling of worry, of doubt, let that feeling become foreign, alien, not you. See how different that is. Once you have been given a taste of fulfillment, a taste of radiance, understand how unlike you, the real you, that worrisome personality actually is. That the radiant you is the real you, the true you, the natural you, and that the worried you is the foreign you, the not you, the learned you, the artificial you. Now, just for the purpose of demonstration. Well, all right. We thank you very much. You may sit down. We request another volunteer. Thank you. You may continue this in your seat. Another volunteer. All right.
Should I get back in my seat or?
Get back in the seat of the person who is coming up. The person who left, sit in the seat of the person who is coming up. All right. The next volunteer. Now, have you been feeling what we've already been talking about?
Yes, I have.
All right. All right. Stand up, come forward. All right. Occupy the place the last person occupied. Now, standing.
I'm sorry, I wasn't quite noticing.
You're sorry?
I was,
That must be the old you. All right.
I'm not sure exactly where it is, but I think this will do.
Does that feel good?
Feels good.
All right, then that's where it is. That's your space. That's your spot. All right. That's the new you. Now, you are still feeling those aspects of radiance and self-fulfillment? Yes? Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Just checking. Now, name a pattern that the old you had, that you are changing now. Is it getting more difficult to find one? All right, very good. Now do this. Pick up one foot and plant it firmly on the ground, and the other foot and plant it firmly on the ground. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You are now on a journey. You are now walking, taking your steps confidently. All of you, back and forth. Walk, walk, stand or sit, but walk, walk. Journey, journey. You are now moving through life. Moving through the life that you chose, beat by beat by beat. Not too fast, not too slow, just moving confidently. Striding ahead. 1, 2, 1, 2. Rowing your oars. 1, 2, 1, 2. Bring back some past life memories, does it? 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep walking. 1, 2. You are striding ahead. 1, 2. Feeling the warrior spirit. Feeling the journeying spirit. The wandering monk. Traveling through life. Looking, beholding, absorbing, taking it all in, yet moving. Always moving, yet at such a pace that you are also always rested, always at peace, delighting in everything that you see, delighting in every encounter. But things always move. It is always fresh. Always new. Understand and allow to be a portion of the idea that you are from this moment forward, that every step is a new you, a new moment, and that the notion of habit, the notion of pattern, has nowhere to anchor. One step may have a habit, but with the very next step, you're a new you. So where can the habit rest? Nowhere. There is nowhere for the habit to settle in, because you are always moving ahead, always moving forward, creating a new now. Always creating yourself anew, feeling this persona, that persona, this persona, that persona, new, every second, new earth, everything around you, new, habit, gone, new habit, gone. Every step might contain a habit, but with the very next step, it's gone, because you're moving, never static, always creating anew, flowing. Now keep walking. Now with this, allow your imagination the following series of pictures. See yourself man, woman. See yourself as a man, a woman, a man, a woman, a man, a woman, a man, a woman, a boy, a girl, a boy, a girl, a boy, a girl, back and forth. See yourself as a rock, a tree, a fish, a cloud, the sky, the earth, a stream. See yourself changing. Never the same thing twice. Never the same thing twice. A butterfly here, a butterfly there is never the same butterfly. Always there will be a slight difference to let you know that you are always different, never really in a habit, never really in a pattern. Can you keep up the pace, even though I am not keeping cadence with my voice? All right, come on. 1, 2, 1, 2. But that's a pattern, isn't it? All right, all right. You may stop. All right. Now, do this. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 3. 1, no. 3. All right. Just to break it up a little bit. Now, how are you feeling?
I feel great.
All right. And who are you?
A new person.
And what is that new person?
Empowered.
Empowered. All right. Now, one more volunteer. All right. Take the seat of the person coming up. Stand where the last person was. And how are you feeling? All right. Now, the notion that you call in your society improvisation can be very helpful for the notion of shifting your personalities and breaking yourself out of habits of using all the personas you are to create a lack of habit. Getting into the act, in other words. Now, say after me. I'll ask you this, is there a habit, a pattern, a worry, a doubt, a fear that you used to have?
Yes.
Name it.
That I would get involved with unavailable in relationships.
That you would get involved with unavailable men. Interesting choice of wording, in that you get involved with someone who is unavailable. There seems to be a bit of a paradox in there, but that's all right. All right. Now. What kind of a line, what kind of a statement, what kind of a sentence would be typical of that you? Commenting on that situation.
Why do I do this?
All right. Very good. Say it again.
Why do I do this?
Why do I do this? All right. What is the year on your planet?
1991.
Shift now into 1928. Say the line now as you would say if you were living in 1928.
Why do I do this?
All right. Shift now into the year 1100. Say the line now if you were living in the year 1100.
Why do I do this?
All right. Now, was there any difference in the feeling between those three statements, even though they seem to be the same statement on the surface? How did each of them feel? How did the first one feel, the one you're used to saying?
Fed up.
Fed up, all right. Now, how did the 1928 one feel?
It felt like, oh, this is exciting, but I'm not sure it makes me feel very good.
All right, this is exciting, but I'm not sure it makes me feel very good. How did the one in 1100 feel? What's this about? All right. What era would you like to go to most excitedly? What era do you identify with in your history most excitingly? 30s and 40s. What kind of a persona would you be in that era? How would you define yourself or describe yourself in that era? First of all, what age would you be? Same age you are now?
Yeah.
All right. And how would you be? And is that different from how you are now? And if so, how?
Yeah, I guess it is a little differently.
How is it different?
I guess
You get to move more freely. What do you mean by that?
I don't lock myself into what society dictates for a woman because I would still prefer to be a woman in any area.
All right. So you are saying that you feel that your 1940s persona is actually less restricted than your 1990 persona.
No.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that the 1940s persona is more restricted than my persona.
Ah, the difference is that there is more freedom now.
Yes.
All right. Why were you attracted then to the 1940s persona? What is it about being attracted to that persona that you like?
It seems comfortable.
Comfortable in what way? Be that persona. Would you speak differently as that persona than you are speaking as the 1990s persona? Would your body language and your body posture be different? Yes or no?
It doesn't seem to be that way now.
Let it be that way. Do you have a picture of yourself as a 1940s persona?
Yes.
Are you standing differently than you would stand if you were a 1990s persona?
No.
Why not?
Good question. I don't know.
What would you be wearing as a 1940s persona?
Pretty much what I'm wearing right now.
What are you wearing right now?
Pants and a shirt and men's socks.
Made out of 1990 materials?
Yes.
Then how could you possibly be wearing them in 1940? Would they not feel different, made out of different material? Would you not move your body differently? Would you not be standing differently? Would you not have different habits?
Yes.
What kind of habits would you have? What would be the automatic assumptions and habits of a person in the 1940s?
Smoking, drinking.
All right. Would you have a cigarette between your fingers right now?
Yes.
Then hold your hand that way. Thank you. Do you feel a little more different?
Yes.
This is what I'm saying to you all. When I tell you to act this persona out, I don't just mean run it through your mind. Do you not understand how differently you feel when you actually physicalize something? Get the point?
Yes.
Toots. All right. Although I believe that that wasn't quite around in the same way. Now, why not angle your body language just a little bit until you really feel like you're slipping into that 1940s persona? Let me know when you are there.
Okay.
What's your name?
Maureen.
Maureen?
Yes.
Good day, Maureen.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
Well, thanks. You?
I am fine. What brings you here to my office today?
I'm looking for a job.
Looking for a job. What kind of work?
I'd like to be a singer.
You'd like to be a singer. Well, there are lots of singers. Cabarets are a dime a dozen. What makes you think you can cut it? Oh, really? How good?
Good enough.
Good enough. We'll see about that. All right. Let's hear what you got. Cat got your tongue?
Not hardly. I just am not in the habit of singing off color.
Not in the habit. I ain't asking you for no habit.
You have an ashtray, or should I just use the floor?
There's an ashtray on the table right next to you. Don't be nervous. Go on, cut loose. I gotta know if you can deliver the goods before I can put you in one of my clubs.
All right, okay. Believe I'm doing it.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it.
I can do what I want. I'm in complete control. That's what I tell myself. I got a mind of my own. I'm all right alone. Don't need anybody else. I gave myself a good talking to. No more being a fool for you. But I see you, and all I remember is how you make me wanna surrender. Damn your eyes for taking my breath away, for making me wanna stay. Damn your eyes.
All right, I got the picture.
Give her the job.
Sorry, that was my subconscious.
Aren't you supposed to be downstairs washing glasses? What are you doing listening outside the door? The job pays $30 a week.
Not enough.
Then you can go down the block to Frankie's.
I'm worth 50.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Who says?
me. And your customers when they fill up your place.
You're that good, huh? All right. You got it. It's a deal. However, you pay for your own cab.
That was how I was going.
All right then. When can you start?
Are you open tonight?
I'll see you at 6.
Sounds good.
Now, how do you feel?
Terrific.
Who are you?
I just feel great. I just feel good.
Then that's who you are.
That's who I am.
Yes.
Yes.
You are that feeling. This is also what we are saying. The feeling itself, the vibration itself, that's who you are. And very often what confuses many of you, as the old persona expressed, and keeps finding the repetitive patterns of things such as unavailability in any kind of situation, is that you often go looking to define yourself beyond the feelings that are right there with you. It is the feelings you feel that are you. That is what you are. It is who you are. It is the beingness. It is your soul. That's really all you need to know, and it is really all you need to act on, are the feelings that are true and are you. That will allow you to express yourself in any situation, any way you need to be taken seriously, to be known transparently, and to be handed the opportunities that are representative of who it is you are willing to express yourself to be. The only reason that situations in your life would be unavailable is because you are not available to yourself. You are not accessing the feelings, the real you, the you want to be. You're not being the feeling. You are attempting to define yourself through some artificial presentation, when all you really need to be taken seriously, is to be the feelings that you all are. That's who you are. Your feelings. You understand? Does this help?
Very much.
You may all enjoy a short break. We will resume contact in approximately 10 to 15 minutes of your time. I don't say, are you ready for more? Yeah. I don't think so. For the following reason, each and every one of you needs to have at this time in your hands a piece of paper and a writing instrument. I will wait until each and every one of you has before we begin. While you are doing this, I will tell you that there are 3 more techniques we wish to impart to you in this session today. And to remember that each and every one of these ideas is simply one doorway, one avenue that you have of utilizing a methodology and a meditation to tap into your ability to unlock from the idea of patterns that no longer serve you. Are there still those that do not have a piece of paper and writing instrument? Yes. All right, we will wait. Anyone left now who does not have a piece of paper and writing instrument? Anyone who is not ready, say, not ready. All right, you are all ready. But not quite. Because this exercise takes place on the floor. All of you, in any way, shape, or form, kneeling, lying, sitting, in front of your chair, behind your chair, off to the side, does not matter, but on the floor. Whatever is comfortable for you. All right, now. Let us impart a sense of great seriousness to this. Oh, very good. For this exercise will entail that you allow yourself to be in touch with what might loosely be called your shamanistic side, your shamanistic persona. Let us go for a moment through what might be termed the Native American route in accessing this aspect of your consciousness. For here is what you are about to do. Imagine yourself, either with your eyes closed or with your eyes open, does not matter. But imagine yourself now, out in the midst of your American desert, surrounded by the tall rock mesas in their brilliant colors as they reach skyward. The wind is warm and clear and clean, and you feel the warm desert sands stretching away from you on all sides. Perhaps you hear the occasional sound of a bird or some other animal. Perhaps the forlorn whistle of the hawk in the distance, circling high overhead, its shadow passing over you as its body becomes between you and the sun that gives life to the whole area. And you are on a vision quest, sitting and meditating on a rock, on the sand, higher up in the high desert, down below on the plains, does not matter. But you are now the persona of a native shaman, a medicine person, in touch with higher aspects, higher energy, higher consciousness, open to the universe to receive the important information that you are waiting to receive, information that will help and assist you in breaking free of past assumptions, past patterns, past personas. You are simply open, listening, feeling with your body, with your heart, with your soul, with your spirit, with your mind, open to receive to all that is, to Mother, Father, earth and sky. Your heart is open. And you have before you the desert sand in which to write an image that you are waiting to receive. This image will be given to you in a very specific way by a very specific messenger. But it is not there yet. You may see but a foreshadow of this image, but it is not there yet. So wait, just wait, and allow yourself to know the one thing, the most important thing you need to know about receiving this image. And that is that when this image, when this symbol is finally presented to you, you will write it down in the sand before you, on your piece of paper, which will be the sand before you. You will write it down. Doesn't matter whether fast or slow, but when you write it down, you will make it a deliberate action. Not just a haphazard action with no thought. All of your senses, all of your being, whether this is recorded quickly or slowly, everything about you will be focused into the doing of this thing, the recording of this symbol, as a deliberate action of choice. That is the only important thing you need to know, and the only thing you will do. And now, as you sit and you wait, you observe the sun setting below the mesa, streaking the desert with gold and ruby red, streaking what clouds there may be with crimson fire, seeing the sky go from bright crystal blue to deep, deep, deep azure. Velvet, bright and clear, but deep. Deep as the sea. As if the sea, the ocean, were above your heads, stretching to infinity. And all around you, horizon to horizon, 360 degrees, open and expansive, ready to receive. And now, you begin to feel a tingling, a touching, something intangible passing over you, through you, like a wind, like a warm desert sigh. It breathes with you. You feel your breathing, and the desert begins to breathe with you. And you know there is something else here. Someone else with you here. A huge, enormous presence, invisible, but enormous, breathing all around you. And it begins to coalesce, to congeal, to crystallize in light before you, bit by bit, thickening, glowing, standing, an enormous image of the Kachina energy standing before you as an aspect, a reflection of the infinite, all of nature embodied in this one bright, colorful form, towering before you, standing with its feet, its energy feet planted in the desert rock, and its head scraping the sky above, brilliant in its color and energy, standing before you. And it reaches up to the sky with its arms, stretches around, and hands to you, opens its hands, and there you see a symbol, a swirl, a pattern, a spiral, whatever it may be, it shows the symbol of your very consciousness to you. And you watch that symbol, look at that symbol, its shape, its form, its color, its size, its configuration. This is the symbol that represents the center of your being, your ability at any moment, in any shape, way, and form, at any place and any time, when you feel you might be in any pattern. To see this symbol will be to bring you back to the patternless void, the center of your being, to unlock you from all patterns into the limbo of existence, sheer presence of self. And now, in a deliberate act of choice, you accept and receive this gift of this shape, this symbol, this form, whatever it may be for you, and you write it down now. A clear and deliberate action with a beginning and an end. This is your symbol, the symbol of centeredness, the symbol of unlocking. This is your key connection to nature and the peace of your soul. Thank the being, thank the presence, and feel the eternal gratitude that comes from knowing you are connected to all that is, and that you are at one with the infinite. Gratitude and unconditional love. Let the presence go. Let it dissolve and expand back into the desert scenario. And you are once again by yourself, and it is now nighttime on the desert. The moon is bright. The stars are sharp and clear. You are under the veil of night, at one, both with the light and the dark, the day and the night, within the soul of your center, the center of your soul. Hold the symbol now to your heart, pick it up, and hold it to your heart. Feel the love that vibrates within that symbol, within that sign, within that communication from all that is to you. It is the mark of your uniqueness, the treasure of your being, your key, your guide. It is your contract of living the life that you choose to live. Take a deep breath in and feel your heart beating with the peace of the desert, the expansiveness of the desert. And feel and know that you are living a living dream, a dream of eternal life and light. And now, open your eyes or wake up, or let yourself have the ability to look at that symbol, look upon it, and see the mirror that is there. Use this symbol anytime you wish to center yourself immediately and feel yourself back in that warm, supportive wind, the wind of unconditional love of all that is. And now, take your symbol and take your seats. Any seats at all. Give yourself an opportunity to stand and stretch if you wish. For now, you will adopt a completely different posture for the second technique, the technique of being electronic. Sit in your chairs ever so straight and true, with your hands upon your knees as an Egyptian statue, eternal and unmoving, straight and true, serene in your beingness, at ease, relaxed, yet eternal. No stamina required, just peace and clarity. And now the second technique. All of you know, in this day and age upon your planet with your technology, the idea of encoding and recording things magnetically. This is where the concept of programming comes in. You can look at yourself as a magnetic being, encoded and recorded with different ideas and beliefs, patterns, lines, strips of magnetism that point in certain directions and mean certain things to you. It is these lines that you wish to erase and redirect. And just as you know that placing a very strong magnet next to a recording of magnetic tape will erase that tape, so now in your imagination, close your eyes and see your body as this magnetic tape. All the beliefs, all the ideas, all the patterns, all the habits, all the rituals are lines of magnetism moving through you like a printed circuit board, pathways, tracing and retracing, tracing and retracing, over and over again, all the habits, all the things that no longer serve you, all the rituals you no longer need. And now, imagine above your heads a bright, shining, electromagnetic blue disk of light radiating above you. And see this disk now. Feel this disk pulsing above your head like a halo of bright blue electromagnetic light. Hear it humming, hear it vibrating, a powerful magnetic source, a doorway, an opening to another dimension of pure, absolutely pure magnetic light. And feel the disk descend upon you as your body moves through the disk, as it comes down, passing through you, your head passing through it, wiping clean all the way from top to bottom, all the way down to your feet, wiping clean all the old patterns. Feel your temperature change. Feel the dizziness, the giddiness of being a pure and absolute one vibration, one pulse. No differentiation, all the way down to your feet and all the way back up again. Oh, the dizziness. Oh, the giddiness. Oh, the clarity. Oh, the purity. Feel the cold sweat of change glisten on your skin. The expulsion and the purging and the rearranging of old ideas. evaporating with the wind that passes by your skin, carrying off the old ideas away, forever away, leaving you one crystal clear idea, one pure electromagnetic moment. Now breathe, just breathe, deeply, cleanly, clearly, and see the entire world become green, green with life, expanding outward from the very center of your being, infusing freshness and vitality, newness, spontaneity, synchronicity, moment by moment, ever spiraling outward, always coming back new, giddy with freshness and creation. You're at the moment of initial creation, and everything is possible, and everything shall be what you choose it to be. Choice, not pattern. Choice, not habit. Choice, not doubt, fear, or denial. Only choice. New choice. Eternal choice. Forever and ever choices. So choose the you prefer to be. Now, now, now. Forever. The eternal statue in the desert, that is forever redefined, forever built anew, eternal and always changing, electromagnetically absolute and pure. Breathe in, expel. You are the source of the desert wind. Breathe in, expel. You are the warm night zephyr. Breathe in, expel. You are the voice and choice of change. Open your eyes. Stand up and stretch. Shake yourselves out. Reconnect to the earth. You are reborn electronically, electromagnetically. This second technique is a very quick and strong way to realign every single cell of your physical form. Every single cell. Feel refreshed and fulfilled with moisture, water, alive, 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 with breath and newness. Remain standing for the third technique. Now, this idea is to not only connect you to the higher self, but to allow you to begin to see from the perspective of the higher self, so that you can know that what you call the higher self and the physical self are not separate ideas. You are one thing, one view, one consciousness. This meditation, this exercise, you may need to practice. Practice every chance you get. You will get stronger at it. But this is a most unusual exercise. And you must take care to do this exercise at the right place, at the right time, when you know that you can do it safely and easily. For you will understand that this exercise is done with your eyes wide open. This meditation is with your eyes wide open. Now, here is what we wish you to do. Just look around you at the room you are in. Just look slowly. Open your eyes very, very, very wide. And when you look at something, really look at it as if for the very first time. Just look. Now, here is the part that you will practice and get stronger at day by day. You are now going to move your point of view upward from the physical body to the point of view of the higher self by doing it in the following way. Imagine that while you are a physical consciousness, we are not going to ask you to do something that is not natural to you. But while you are used to seeing from the point of view of your physical eyes, I'm going to ask you now to think of this view that you appear to be having from your physical eyes in a very different way. Think about it now in a very different way. Pretend, imagine that as you are looking at everything very closely, that your physical eyes are not where you are looking from, but that your physical eyes are mirrors in a periscope. Normally, when you look through a periscope, you look into mirrors which are angled in such a way that your vision bounces into the mirror and up into other mirrors and then out to look at the scene you wish to see, grabbing the handles of the periscope and looking around to see the reality that you are peering into. Only now, reverse the entire procedure. You are no longer looking up, you are now looking down. From the perspective of the higher self, your physical body is the periscope, the other end of the periscope. Whatever you see is not being seen by the physical you. Whatever you see is being seen by the higher, non-physical you through the periscopic mirror of the physical body. So imagine that the initiation of what you are looking at is happening up there, above you. You are looking from up there down through the periscope and seeing it as if your point of view was in the physical body, but that's just a reflection in the mirror of the body periscope. Hold this perspective and begin to look around as if you are looking from up there, through a tube, through a device. Begin to let yourself feel your consciousness looking from up there. Some of you may begin to experience a little bit of dizziness or disorientation if you are transferring the point of view properly. If you're not feeling this, it's all right. This will take some practice. But this is the technique you can begin to use day by day to begin to move your perspective into the higher self so that you can function as the higher self and detach and unlock yourself a little bit from the physical reality, to see it only as a reflection through the periscope of the physical form, and to see it, therefore, as if you are exploring that reality for the very first time, as if you have just stuck your periscope down into the different dense layers of physical reality for the very first time and start moving it around. Grab the handles as the higher self and move it around and see the reflection of that physical reality. Oh, how interesting. Look at that. Your eyes are wide with wonderment. You have never seen these things before. This is the very first time you are exploring this realm. Down there. Just look around. Do this for about 10 minutes each day. And slowly, bit by bit, you will begin to feel your perspective move up and out of the physical body so that you will begin to feel yourself as more, to expand and stretch your consciousness. This is in no way, shape, or form to be done at the expense of your physical body or being attached to physical reality. This is for the purpose of allowing yourself to feel yourself to be the expanded being you are. But because of your physical patterns, it may take a strong detachment first before you can balance the perspective of the two. So begin to treat your physical body now as a periscope, which you, the real you, is looking down and out through. You are no longer in the body. You are looking down and out through the body. Let yourself feel that. Feel it. And remember, a little bit of dizziness, a little disorientation is all right. It is the appropriate feeling. You won't always feel it. Not all of you may feel it. But if you do, it's all right. You may sit your periscopes down. And let me add this final statement about this idea. We do not want you to discount your body and make you feel as if your body is only a puppet, because your body is an expression of your consciousness. It is you. So do not discount it. But you may also begin to feel, as you improve on this sensation, that your body is actually like a puppet, being operated by remote control from the higher self, which in one perspective it is. It is all right to have this feeling, but do not discount nor judge your body to be anything less than the higher perspective that you will get used to seeing the world from. Remember that. It is all one thing. But this technique can really be the true beginning of expanding beyond the whole concept of pattern and habit, because those concepts really only exist in the physical realm you have locked yourselves into for thousands and thousands of years. You are now beginning with this technique to redefine and dissolve the barriers, dissolve the differences between the vibration of physical reality and the vibration of your non-physical consciousness, and are beginning to see it as truly one endless, unbroken sea of self, of awareness, of beingness. Take 3 deep breaths and lock all that we have discussed this day into the very fiber of your being, but in such a way that it is free to change at any moment, because you choose to change. Also remember, as you breathe and open and listen and receive these gifts, when it comes to habit, when it comes to pattern, when it comes to ritual, when it comes to feeling stuck, when you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again, remember, change is the only thing that is always constant. You will always be changing. You are never the same you. The only reason you would experience what appears to be to you habits and patterns is because you continue to choose to act like the you used to be. And as we illustrated earlier, when we say use the different persona, act like a different person, we really mean act like a different person. Adopt that different attitude. Adopt the different affectations. Be who you want to be. Totally. And you will create the new reality that goes with the vibration of the new persona completely. You are always rotating through yourselves. You are whatever you wish to be. You are whatever you imagine yourself to be. Take and use the gifts that you have allowed us to give you this day. We extend to you our deepest appreciation in being given the gift of being allowed to interact with you, and for always allowing us to experience something new every moment that we interact with your world. You are never boring. And never do we ever feel like we are in a rut when dealing with you. Always exciting are you to us. And we thank you for inspiring us to co-create with you this day, this meditation, this workshop, for again remember and understand that before we began to speak the first word of this workshop today, we had no idea what we were going to say. You can be that spontaneous, and you are. We thank you and bid you an exciting dream life and life dream.